Yes, here we go. This is now our latest power rankings, the way we see the electoral votes stack up here. We still see Harris with a slight edge, an easier path, not by much, but just an easier path at 241 compared to Trump's 219. You need 270 to win on the board here. I'll forward one time here. Everything you see in yellow hasn't really much changed, has it? Really, from week to week. You know, Nevada's a toss-up, Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Michigan, we've got lean down, but there's some suggestions out there that it's just razor tight in Michigan as well. So what do you need to get to 270, right? Let's go ahead and check out the path to the majority, all right? I'll call this up here at the presidential level. Here's what we have, all right? If Harris is at 225 for the sake of this argument, her path continues to be, her easiest path is Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania, 269, and this one, Nebraska 2, puts her at 270. For the former president, President Trump, his easiest path at the moment, the easiest way to understand this now, is to flip Georgia, hold North Carolina, and win Pennsylvania here, and that would do the trick at 270. So just keep in mind on that. There could be variations certainly before Election Day or even certainly on election night, but that's the way we see it for her and for him, the easiest path to 270. Back to 60 Minutes. There's more on that now.
You have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for.
I have been traveling our country, and I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus.
Vice President Kamala Harris pressed on her flip-flops on important policy issues and claiming consensus to explain the shifting stances. Will that be enough? Bret Baier, anchor and executive editor of Special Report and Fox News chief political anchor. I thought Bill Whitaker did a pretty good job of saying, well, you said this and then not that. And he has a gentle way about him, and he could interrupt and press her in ways that gave her opportunities to answer with more substance, and she still didn't do it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Good morning. I think that Bill did a really good job of pushing back in a respectful way, but one in which everybody really wanted to hear, especially when it came to illegal immigration. I thought that soundbite and that stretch of follow-ups was really powerful and something that Vice President Harris hasn't seen in an interviewer up until now. And that is, you know, if you say that you're happy about what things have happened in recent months based on the executive orders that were put back in place, why not have done that 3 years ago? Why did you let the influx and the flow of illegal immigrants get to such a point where it quadrupled over the Biden-Harris administration? And I thought that was really powerful, and she obviously didn't have a really good answer to it.
Yeah, speaking of which, here it is, right? Harris on the border. They went at this a couple times here. Watch what we pulled.
Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem, and solutions are at hand. We have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem.
Fashion Olay, you know, and you pull the cape out there and let the bull run through. I mean, look, she didn't take it head on, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then, you know, listen, 3 questions on this topic, and you kind of get to the point where this is the answer you're going to get. And there were a number of those. And I think overall, this is the kind of interview that illuminates maybe where she stands. I think one of the reasons that we haven't seen her out is because she hasn't had a lot of trial runs with this kind of interviewer. And, you know, we'll see if the campaign continues to go down this road less than 30 days to the election.
There was also this. They interviewed Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate, about false statements from his past and the knucklehead comment.
Is that kind of misrepresentation, isn't that more than just being a knucklehead?
I think folks know who I am.
But I think it comes down to the question of whether whether you can be trusted to tell the truth.
Yeah, well, I can. I think I can. I will own up to being a knucklehead at times, but the folks closest to me know that I keep my word.
What do you think of that, Brett?
Well, I think Shannon Bream did a really good job over the weekend on Fox News Sunday, going down these roads and really got into the specifics about abortion and abortion policy. But on this question about his statements and what he said and how it really brings up a trust issue, I think, again, Whitaker did a nice job, and so did Shannon. They have an issue here, and the answer that I'm a knucklehead and I can be trusted and people know who I am, I'm not sure delivers the specifics that people are looking for.
Let's talk about the news that Dana talked about 5 minutes ago. President Biden was going to go to Europe. He has canceled that trip. I think it's a smart move. I think Dana and I both agree on that. Probably is smart. We don't know what Florida is going to be treated with. You know, really like Thursday morning, Brett. You wake up and you're going to look at some of these islands on the west coast of Florida, and there's going to be a ton of damage, and a lot of people will be suffering.
Yeah, listen, we've been through these storms, but nothing quite like this in the lead up to when it hits. Hopefully that wind shear hits it and it gets down to a 4 or a 3, but you're still looking at a massive storm, especially if it hits right there at Tampa Bay. You know, Senator Rubio said that he was told by FEMA and National Hurricane Center a long time ago. He asked, what's the worst case scenario? And it is an eye going across that very place. So, yeah, we're going to have to watch it. Yeah, and it's a smart move for President Biden. And I thought Governor DeSantis has been good about the interaction with the federal government, and obviously was really pointed about the whole back and forth about Vice President Harris and the call.
And it preempts one of Dana Perino's rules of presidential international travel, which is whenever they go, something big happens back home, and you don't want to be caught overseas when that happens. So smart move indeed. Brett, thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, Brett.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.